What's popping, y'all? It's your favorite doctor, that girl Henny, and I'm here to pour up your update on the Diddy court docs right now. So, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Today, Diddy is sitting in court. Well, he's probably sitting in the MDC because today is the remote post-trial sentencing for Diddy. Now, as you all know, there was an original court date of October 3rd of 2025, but the defense is asking for an expedited sentence, meaning to push the date up closer because they don't want to wait until October. Now, for a lot of people that have been out there, they have been saying that Diddy was going to be released today, but that could not be furthest from the truth. Now, that is not what this is about. I'm going to break down for y'all exactly what it is that a status conference is and what it is not. So this is sometimes called a post-trial sentencing, which is what I have in the title, or a scheduling conference, and it's a procedure that it's a procedural court appearance, often remote. So the fact that Diddy is having this remote is not anything that is brand new. This is actually something that is usually done where the prosecution, the defense, and the judge meet jointly, and then they discuss the next steps of what's going to happen. Usually what's discussed during these conferences is whether to expedite the sentencing or not, timing for required probation interviews, which is the pre-sentencing investigation, and whether any bail or release conditions might be reconsidered. Now, Judge Submarinian said he is not giving him bail. He said, I didn't give you bail before the trial. I'm not giving you bail after the trial. And so no bail has been set. So I guess that could be scratched off of the to-do list for today. But they're also going to be clarifying procedural hurdles that may take place before or during the process of the sentencing hearing. All right, so it has already started 8 minutes ago down there at 500 Pearl Street, but what you guys are here for, I'm going to give to you in a minute. All right, now this is not going to be Diddy is going home. During this hearing, the defense will press Judge Submarinian to waive or accelerate certain pre-sentencing steps, filing a pre-sentencing investigation report, and arranging confidential interviews as part of what they call expedited sentencing. However, both the prosecution and the judge have consistently denied releasing, citing recent associations with Combs' wealth, travel history, and the past violence. All right. Historically, bail has been denied for Diddy. All right. And on July 2nd, the judge, he remained on that stance and he would not budge at all. So the bottom line is this conference is expedited to set a new sentencing timeline, but not result in Diddy walking away. Now, this letter right here, I have already read it out loud, but I'm going to read it out loud for y'all again. So this is from Mark Agnifilo, which y'all know is Diddy's defense. And in this letter, he says the parties have met and conferred and have agreed to the following schedules for sentencing, post-verdict motions, and submission of offense conduct to the probation officer. So what this means is that the defense and the prosecution have already met and they agreed to everything that is in this letter that Agnifilo is sending in. So it says for sentencing, the defense proposes that the probation office provide the parties with a pre-sentencing investigation report on or before September 5th. So the probation office has to give their PSR by September 5th, okay? That the defense sentencing memorandum and objections to the PSR be filed on or before September 8th, and that the government sentencing memorandum and objections to the PSR be filed on or before September 15th of 2025. So basically what they are saying here is that the probation office has to complete their investigation report and have it into both the government and the prosecution by September 5th. Now, from the 5th to the 8th, the defense will review it, and then they will give their objections and their memorandums to the PSR investigation report, okay? And they will do that by September 8th. Now, once the defense does that, the government or prosecution has until September 8th. Wait a minute. until September 15th, excuse me, to get their objections and memorandums in as well. And they're seeking to have Diddy's sentencing on September 22nd at 2025. Okay? For post-verdict motions, the parties propose that the defense file any post-verdict motions on or before July 30th, and that the government respond on or about August 20th. Finally, the government requests that it be permitted to submit its summary of offense conduct on or before July 11th, and the defense does not object. So basically, boom, the defense and the prosecution have met up. They have agreed to the sentencing being moved from October 3rd to September, okay? What was that, September 22nd, all right? So when they go into court, the judge is going to hear that. That's what he is listening to right now, okay? And what it means that they want the government to have basically their summary of all the things that Diddy has done put in by July 11th. Now, today is the 8th, which means they're giving them until Friday to get that information in. Once that information hits, you know I'm going to get there. Okay, I'm going to give it to y'all, all right? So if you think about it, by the time they go in September, Diddy will be in Click Click City for a total of 1 year, which means the defense is proposing that he be sentenced 15 to 21 months, which would equal to a little over a year, which would give him a time served. And he could actually walk out on the 22nd if Judge Submaranian says okay to what the defense is proposing. Now, it has been said that there is a maximum sentence of 20 years on the line, because of the 2 Mann Act convictions that he has. So each Mann Act carries a maximum sentence of 10 years, which means that they can carry a max of 20 years. But if they were to give him 20 years or give him the 10 years per count, they would probably run it concurrent, okay? Which means that they would be right back to what the government is already proposing, which is 53 to 61 months, which is about a little over 4.5 years to 5 years that they are giving Diddy. Now, that's where we're at with that. This is what they're discussing right now in court. And baby, y'all got the breaking news. Do y'all hear me? Y'all heard it here first, because now that's going to be the news that's buzzing around the internet. But y'all already heard it. Henny, I'm so good at Henny is so good at whatsoever does. Go ahead, mama, do your thing. Thank you so much, Green Eye Hustler. So yes, honey, this is what it is, all right? Now, we're going to go and we're going to check in with Inner City Press to see what is actually being said, because we don't know what Judge Submaranian is going to do, but more than likely, being that both parties have already agreed to this, he may also agree with... He may also agree with the September 22nd sentencing date. The only thing that we have to see now is what is going to be the sentence. But for those people who are out here telling you that Diddy is going to walk out of them golden doors today, they're lying. Thank you. I appreciate you, the brother Smash. All right. So now let's see what Inner City Press is speaking on. First of all, let me check my girl. Okay, so I guess P. Diddy trial updates is not updating this, honey, because they said their name is P. Diddy trial and the trial is over, all right? All right, so look, y'all got the breaking news ahead of Inner City Press. Whoop, 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 whoop. Y'all dropped them Henny glasses in the chat because your girl broke that news, broke that, did that. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just got to be feeling myself just a little bit. All right, so 12 minutes ago, they have already started tweeting. All right, so it says, Mark Agnifilo, Sean, is that you? Mr. Combs, yes, where are you? Agnifilo, I'm in my office. Deputy, is the government on? AUSA Slavic is on. The deputy, beyond the letter, anything? They say no. The deputy will be back in writing and adjourned. We'll get back in writing. And the meeting is adjourned. That's it. The meeting is adjourned. So it looks like Agnifilo was there. Diddy was there via video, okay, which he can do. They do have video set up for people to attend trial via video conference virtually. This was set up during the vid-19. AUSA Slavic was there. This letter was presented, and they'll get back to them in writing, and the meeting is adjourned. There's nothing else to discuss. That's it. Triple J, you did? You good over there? You dealing over there in them dark people's energy? You good? Is you good? Is you good, Ka? Let me know is you good. Throw a Henny glass if you good. Throw a 2 if you're not. Maybe we'll try to send some help for you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me check what we got going on. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you for the super chat, positive vibes. Hold on. Hold on, baby, because we've got an update. All right, so there's a new letter that was put in, and it says, for sentencing, the parties propose the court's original date of October 3rd. Hold on. The defense proposes that the probation office provide the parties with pre-sentencing investigation reports, PSR, on or before August 29th. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Hold on, baby. Hold on. All right. That the defense objections to the PSR be filed on or before September 5th. That the government's objections to the PSR be filed on or before September 12th. That the probation office disclose their final PSR by September 18th. That the defense's sentencing memorandum be filed on or before September 19th. And that the government's sentencing memorandum be filed by September 26th. The government and the probation officer do not object to this schedule. For post-verdict motions, the parties propose that the defense file any post-verdict motions on or before July 30th. The government respond on or before August 20th. Finally, the government requests that it be permitted to submit its summary of offenses of conduct on or before July 11th. So they've gone back to October 3rd. They have gone back to October 3rd. So y'all got the breaking news about them moving it, and now they moved it back. So, yeah, that's where we are right now, folks. Which, again, it goes right back to, it doesn't change what I said. So originally they were saying that it was going to be September 22nd. That's what this letter right here behind me says, but I'm about to screenshot. Yes, I did say September because that's what this letter says. If you let me cover this screen so you can see it. Do you see it for yourself? If you look on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line down, it says, with the sentencing hearing to take place September 22nd, 2025. It says so right there in that letter. However, comma, I'm about to screenshot and post up this letter because this letter is hot off the presses, baby. Hot off the presses, baby. Listen, I know you new here, baby, but let me tell you, Henny don't come on here and BS you at all. I ain't like other people, honey. Sit down and get comfortable, because there's a reason why everybody love Henny, boo, and you gonna learn. Hold on. Boom. Now, this is the new letter that I just read to y'all. And if you look down, you'll see sentencing will be held on September. Right up at the top, it says that they proposed the original date of October 3rd. Two different letters. Okay? Two different letters. Boom. Ain't no capping in my rapping, okay? For everybody that's new, welcome to the bar. I am your favorite doc tender, that girl Henny, and me and the Henny legal team swing and hardly ever miss. We have the reputation of what the Southern District used to have, okay? We ain't trying to lose our reputation of swinging and being 95% correct most of the time. I'm just saying. What you mean? Where's Goddess Chopper? Goddess don't have her chopper no more? Goddess, where you at? You still in here? No, Goddess should still have her chopper. Period, honey. I could put these shades on because it's about to be real shady out here in these streets. All right? Some people are about to be upset. Okay, she got a chopper right there, Swagger. She still got her chopper. She still block up on everybody. Let me see what this is. Okay, Swagger. Nino says, was somebody supposed to get sniped? Probably. I don't know. Well, welcome to the bar, Keisha Johnson. Okay? So, yes, I had said September 22nd based off of the information that we had. And now we are seeing that it was moved back to the original date of October 3rd. So it will still be October 3rd, which means that there really was no expedited anything that happened. It stayed the same. Hey, Lord, welcome. Make sure y'all are double tapping that screen. Back to the judge, you go, Swagger. Back to the jungle, you go. Swagger, what you did to Triple J? What you done did to Triple J that he's sending you back to the jungle? Oh, babies are home. You are definitely an insider for the courts now. I always said you should work in the courts. Me and Henny was supposed to get married yesterday, y'all. She's still... Tyron, why you gonna start that rumor? All that time, hey baby, all that time, I was down there at the courthouse, right across the street. You ain't never showed up. Yes, baby, I went live. I couldn't show up. They were supposed to be the small ones, but whoever did the shopping grabbed the big ones. So if you want to put them in the fridge, you can. And put Yana's in the fridge. And that's it. There should still be some leftovers. If not, then we'll get a pizza. No? Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Let me get back to what I was telling y'all. So, yeah. So, Tyron, you know, I was right across the street. I was watching everybody pop their confetti and come out all, you know. So, don't say I stood you up. He stood me up, y'all. For 7 weeks, he stood me up, y'all. For 7 weeks, I was out there in New York. Ain't even pop out the court and see me. Hey, Annie, been watching from the bushes and subscribed a few weeks ago. Love your coverage. Keep it going. I'll be looking forward to your next case. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. The next case that I'm doing is actually going to be the Alexander brothers. I know y'all want me to cover Luigi. No, that was Emo. Let me give y'all a poll right now. What do I want to say? Should the defense have kept the September 22nd. Date. Yes or no. Sherman, there is no third option before you even ask me that, okay? There is no third option. Y'all take the thing down there, the poll. All right, and then I have another one. So y'all have a poll and y'all have a question. Y'all have a poll down below and y'all have a question right here. And let me switch my background so y'all can see it. So y'all tap the poll and then answer the question. Poll, cover Tyler or the three brothers. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So now I'm about to get a little spicy up in here. Number one, let's get spicy about some of this stuff that's going on in these internet streets. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Henny ain't got a dog in the fight, and I have nothing to do with people beefing with who they beefing with. If you got an issue with who you got an issue with, you got an issue with who you got an issue with. I don't have an issue with nobody, okay? I have an issue with no one that was down there. I don't have smoke with nobody. I don't have smoke for nobody. Everybody did their thing down there as far as I'm concerned. They gave what they gave. Their audience loves what they gave. So I'm not about to sit up here. If you're a person who was, hey, Bookie, if you're a person who was pro Diddy, and you covered from the defensive side, your audience loved the way that you covered from the defensive side. If you were somebody that exaggerated a little bit, your audience liked that, whatever. If you're a person that exaggerated a lot, and I am not talking about Thesis, don't put me in that because I have nothing to do with that. I'm talking about everybody in general as a whole. So don't put me in it, all right? I'm just saying, there were other people that was lying too, and I'm going to leave it at that. But I don't say nothing about nobody because Henny be head down working, doing what she do over here, so I don't care about none of that over there. Salute and blessings to everybody because y'all don't know what it took to get up out the comforts of our homes, leave our comfy beds behind, and go lay up in hotels and hostels and Airbnbs and lay up with family and take up space in their homes or be up with friends and all for 7 weeks, for almost 2 months. Some people were out for 2 months. Some people were gone for 10 months, okay? We got up out of our beds and covered this story, baby. And the only thing that I'm offended by is that people that was not there in the courts, not there in the court covering it, boots on the ground, a lot of us did not get the flowers, the views, or the paychecks that we should have gotten for us being out there covering it the way that we was covering it. Baby, we was like a real live TV station for all of y'all. We was like ABC, NBC, CNN, CBS, Channel 11, Pix 11, Channel 9 News, the Weather Network. Either channel you went to, you could go to anybody's channel, literally a channel. We turned YouTube into a TV for y'all, for real. For real. So all of us deserve our credit. All of us deserve our flowers. All of us deserve whatever it is that we got and then some. All the feuding, I'm not with it. Okay? Because we was all out there doing our thing. So I'm not in that shit. I say salute to everybody because that took a lot for us to get up early in the morning, get up out of our beds, go brave that heat. We were out there in the rain, baby. We was out there in the heat and the rain, in the cold, because when I first got there, it was cold as hell in New York still. So we was out there in the cold and everything, giving y'all the news better than Legacy Media. And that's no knock to Legacy Media, but the difference between us and them is the fact that we can say whatever the hell we want to say and they can't. So we was giving it to y'all raw, authentic, and in our words. And baby, we was coming out there with our notebooks. Hold on, let me go get my notebooks. Look at this. I got 3 legal pads and 4 composition notebooks, okay? And let me show y'all something. This is not 1 page. Baby, this is, hold on. This is the last book. The last book, I was like, nah, I ain't doing all of that front and back shit. Look at this. If y'all can see it. Y'all can't even see. It's front and back on every page. Front and back. Front and back. Front and back. Okay? When we get to these notebooks, baby, this is the back of the book. Look at this. Front and back. Front and back. When I tell y'all, I was sitting up in there, I had my notebook out. The girl was sitting there in court. She stopped me on the way out. And she said, how are you writing so fast? Because, baby, I would be sitting there. I got my little pen out, and I would just be going. Not talking to nobody, no nothing. Laser focused on getting what it is that I needed to get, which was the information for y'all, okay? No court due to juror having a bout of vertigo. Court closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. Court will resume on Friday, 6/20 at 9 a.m. Defense flagging 2 text messages, 2 text threats from D-Rock, and one one-to-one stop. Listen, judge asked Shapiro defense request to charge RICO predicate of SEX trafficker. It would be 1591. And look. These was the notes. These was the notes, y'all. So, baby, when I tell y'all, salute to us, I mean that. So all of this other stuff that's going on, baby, we ruining the moment with that. We ruining the moment with that. We ruining the moment with that. What happened at court? I don't know what happened at the court, but what I can tell you is at first, Agnifilo had submitted a letter asking for the court date to be September 22nd. Now it's moving to no, that's incorrect, Carl. Okay, there was a previous letter that was put up where the government, the prosecution, and the defense had come to a consensus, and they agreed that they were going to move the court date to September 22nd of 2025. But then a second letter was sent in by Mark Agnifilo, and in that letter, they proposed keeping the original date of October 3rd. Okay? So they went from asking for September 22nd to going back to October 3rd. Now, if I have it the other way around, then I have it the other way around. But the way that they came in, hold on one second. I know how I could tell which is which. So if you look right here, this says document 448. So this is when they originally were asking for September 22nd. Document 449, which came after that one, they're saying they wanted to go back to the original date of October 3rd. So it's back to October 3rd, you guys. I don't know why it says that it was supposed to be dude. What do you mean, the apologetic one? She said receipts be receipting. Carl, did I explain that to you? For everyone that is coming in right now, the date that is proposed is original date. For sentencing, the parties proposed the court's original date of October 3rd. And this is document 449. The longer that he stays in, okay, so do you remember that the defense asked for 15 to 21 months? Well, Diddy was arrested. He's already been in for 10 months. It's July. By the time October rolls around, Diddy will have officially been in for a year and some change. That could mean time served. That's what I am assuming the defense is looking at. That they're hoping that Judge Submarinian will say, okay, we'll do the 15 to 21 months. He gets time served. He gets to go home. But remember, the government is over here saying, we're proposing 53 to 61 months, and there's a maximum sentence of 20 years. That's still pending. Like, that's what the government is rolling the dice and This could mean a victory for the defense or a victory for the prosecution. So he'll be in over a year. I don't know. You know, the judge seemed highly against him getting bail. In my opinion, from what I saw from the judge, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna say it, but the judge did seem like he was not feeling it, okay? Like, he brought up Diddy past, he brought up the video, he brought up testimony, he brought up all of that when he was talking. So I don't know if the judge is gonna go for that 15 to 21 months, if I'm being honest, based off of what I heard in the last sentencing. He saw the evidence just like we all did. He saw more evidence than we did. You got to remember that. There was stuff that they did not share with the gallery or the overflow rooms that only the defense, well, only the jury got to see, but the judge got to see it too. So I don't know. Will the judge give him time served? Will the judge give him 4 to 5 years? Or will the judge slam that gavel down and say, we're giving you the max? Or will he slam it down and say, we're going to give you 10 years? Which would be 5 to 7 probably. I don't know. We don't know what's going on in that judge's head. We don't. And to be honest with you, I really don't think that the judge gives 2 damns about what's going on with any of that other stuff. You want me to talk about Epstein, Hinder? That's what you're talking about? You said the next case, Epstein? All right, 59% of you are saying that the defense should have kept the September 22nd date. 41% of y'all are saying no. They need to give at least 10 years so another freak won't come to his mind. Oh my goodness, not another freak. The judge is about to be in trouble. Steele is going all the way to the top, and that's why Steele was added. We'll see. Henny, have you heard any of the jurors speak? Outside of the alternate juror, no. And I was not impressed by the alternate juror because if I'm going to be honest with you, there was a lot of stuff that he was saying that was giving away that they were having conversations even though the judge told them that they were not to talk about the case with each other or anyone else. It sounds like they were still talking about the case amongst each other because he kept saying, we felt, and we, and we, and we. And who is this we? And how do you know what we felt like when you wasn't supposed to be talking to nobody? Nobody. So y'all was still talking. Y'all thought because y'all was the jury, y'all was allowed to talk. The judge told y'all no, that y'all wasn't allowed to do that. Sir. Ma'am. Yep, I heard a lot of maybe and probablys, and I think. Steele is good, but he hasn't won every appeal he's done. That's true. But you know, everybody's riding off of the fact that he got Thugger Thugger home. That, you know, nobody wins every time, you guys. Nobody wins every single time. That's impossible. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? I shouldn't have came out. I came to come get me some sun with y'all. You know, my thing is this. I got a question. If it was you, what would you do? If it was you, what would you do? If you was the one, what would you do? I'm going to say this. Regardless to how anybody may feel, even when it comes down to whether you feel Diddy is guilty, if you feel Diddy should be doing a whole heap of time, if that's how you feel, can you bring me the keys to Henny Studios, please? I need me a chair. He hired who he felt was best for the job, regardless. And I'm going to tell you something. If I were ever in trouble, I would want them defending me. I watched that defense, and I watched how they moved. I watched how they counteracted. I watched how they were very nitpicky with a lot of things, but I could also say rightfully so, because they were fighting for a man's life. Now, a lot of people, even people who feel that Diddy is a monster, have said that they didn't feel like he deserved life, and that's what was on the line for him with that whole RICO case, was he would have gotten life. That's the maximum that he could face. Also, everybody knows that if you blow trial, that's what the government gives you. No matter what your case is, you blow trial, you're getting life. I feel like the prosecution, they did a good job, but they dropped the ball with the charges, because what they presented to us did not align with the charges, all of the charges that they set forth in front of us. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to call it how I see it. If this was about SCX, then you should have kept it on SCX. If it was about the firearms, which y'all made a big deal about, then you should have kept it on the firearms. They gambled, just like they're gambling right now by allowing this to go back to the original date of October 3rd. They're gambling. Now, I can only say from my observation and what I think and what I assume, and I could be wrong, I don't think Judge Arun Subramanian is going to give him time served. I don't see that. I just don't see that. If he does, then that would be a shocker. Okay, that would be a shocker. Let me tell y'all something. This Florida heat is different than New York. It's not dry and stifling. It's moist. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, let's see. I feel like they finna double back with new charges. People still talking like Gene. Me either. I think he getting 5 to 7 years. Everyone else think about the similarities in Epstein and Diddy's case. Massages, islands, star parties. Well, the star parties are not a part of this. Diddy had people coming to entertain him. Cassie was there to entertain him. Jane was there to entertain him. The Lex workers, they were there to entertain him. So these were for his pleasures. The DR Uggs that were being used, that was for his pleasure. That was not for him doing anything. I don't really see similarities between Diddy and Epstein in that manner. What I do see similarities in is possible similarities between Diddy and the Alexander brothers. I see similarities there. And so I want to cover that case. I'm going back inside for a second because I need to sit down. I do see similarities in those cases, and the similarities that I see is the Billionaire Boys Club. Okay. Okay, welcome back, Henny. What you mean welcome back? Oh, welcome back to the South? Yes, bipolar Florida weather missed you. Listen, have you ever felt New York heat? It's very dry and stifling, okay? Florida heat is moist heat, and I love it. I think 2 years because he had no criminal record. I think both men knew too much. That's true. They know a lot. If you ever took a gift, trips, food, or allowed a man to pay a bill for you, to pay a bill you needed paid, then lock yourself up and call yourself a prostitute if you want Puff locked up so bad. That doesn't even align with what's going on here. That doesn't even align with the case, Al Craig. You too emotional. You're emotional, babe. You're emotional. You're emotional. But you know what I did find out in the law? That if someone flews you out and they promise you something and it's like a quid pro quo situation, you give me a little buns and let me clap your cheeks. Give me a little buns and let me clap your cheeks. And I'll give you this. If you get there and you give a little buns and let them clap your cheeks and they don't give on their end, that's fraud. And that becomes trafficking by fraud and possibly coercion. Ow. Just so you know, because you're so angry. Why are you so angry? I never liked Puff even ever. Since Big was unalive, something was just not right with that dude. Plus, he robbed all his artists and allegedly murked 7 and attempted 3. He's a monster, period. Nicole Lynn, there's a lot of people that feel the way that you do, babe. Because you know you sleep with them after they blessed your pockets. Who is you? Are you speaking in general, Al? Because please, if you're coming from me, baby, this is not what you want. Who is judgment? You're the one over here in your feelings, baby. Miami hotter, dope head spoon. Not dope head spoon. Henny, what do you think about Dave's new lawsuit against Cassie and Diddy? I don't know who Dave is. Is that the one that's saying, well, I know about Clayton and I know about the Laurent person because we talked about them yesterday. Henny, it's horrible here in New York yesterday and today. The heat is so bad. Yeah, see, I'm glad I'm not there. Real Estate Brothers. Yes. Thank you. Are you good enough for heaven? Ever lusted or hated anyone before? Ever crushed, ever lied or stolen before? Clark Kent, I don't know what you're talking about. OnlyFans folks are... What? There is no cap. My best friend used to be Puff Daddy's driver. My other best friend was part of security. He told me so many things that I'll never say on here. Oh, OnlyFans folks are committing crimes. What are those? Feelings? I only speak my opinion without being disrespectful, sister. Bless you. No, because you're so hostile with what you're saying. So let me ask you this, Al, because this is intriguing to me. So you didn't see nothing in this case that was illegal or wrong or criminal? You feel like he's 100% innocent? No judgment. I'm asking a question. I'm having a conversation with you. I wish I was on my StreamYard because I would have brought you up. I'm kind of scared to go on StreamYard right now because I've been doing my lives like this for 2 months And so YouTube is going to make me look horrible going live that way. I should have never went live this way. I should have stayed horizontal the whole time. Yes, ma'am. There were wrongs, obviously. Okay. But now I'm going to say this to you. I don't know when you came to me, but I've had conversations about the whole flued out thing and how a lot of people can find themselves catching the Mann Act or catching trafficking charges, just regular everyday people based off of this case. Now, I also talked about the distribution and how I thought the distribution was crazy because now if you share a spliff with somebody, that could be considered distribution in a state where it is still illegal to have Mary Jane. If we're at a party and I have an e-pill, if I have 2 e-pills, and you say, hey, let me get one of those e-pills, and I give it to you, I have now distributed to you. That's the way that they were building this, and that was my plight with all of this. But when it comes down to everything that I saw, witnessed, and heard, do I think some things may have been a reach? Yes, I do. But I don't think everything was a reach. I don't think everybody got on the stand and lied. I don't think everybody got on the stand and perjured themselves. I don't think that a lot of those people that got up there and testified just because they were coerced into testifying. I do believe that Mia, if you saw Mia, you would understand why it probably took Mia a little bit longer with the government than anybody else. Mia was all over the place and she rambled a lot. They had to stop her from talking at times. So I understood. And I hate that people are villainizing what people's truths are. Those are their truths. Those are their experiences. I don't see I haven't heard not one, and I need everybody to think about this, regardless to which side of the fence you stand on. I need everybody to think about this. While I went off on Chef Jordan yesterday, because Chef Jordan was supposed to testify in court and decided not to because she was afraid and freaked out on the government. But now you're on Instagram after the verdict comes in and you're deciding to come out and speak out now when you should have did that during the trial. So I feel a way about that because I feel like her testimony could have made a difference. Just like Gina's testimony could have made a difference. Gina says that she's not in fear of him because he hasn't done anything dangerous to her. Well, sweetheart, you got up on Tasha K and you said that this man drugged you by your hair and he stomped you so hard in your stomach that you lost breath. The other stuff is not a swinger's life, Samuel, and that's what I'm talking about. Have y'all not noticed that nobody that has worked for Bad Boy prior to has ever come out and said anything to defend Diddy? The only 2 people that have been verbally defending Diddy has been Ray J and Stevie J. No, I was a former employee of Bad Boy and I say this, that, and the third. Anyone that has been speaking about Diddy has not had anything nice to say about Diddy. Could y'all actually? No, don't 50 Shades of Grey this, Samuel, because we're talking about the violence. We're talking about the violence of all of it. We're talking about the mental state that people have been left in. Oh, ye, yes, and ye. But no former Bad Boy employees are coming out, stepping into the spotlight to speak up for him. Have y'all not noticed that? No, what you see is a bunch of bloggers that are taking up for him. That's what you see. No, we're not talking about the freak-offs. We're not talking about the freak-offs, Samuel. We're talking about everything else. I didn't want to see that man catch life. I didn't. Exactly, Gold Digger. She talked about the violence on Tasha K's interview. And then came back and said, he never did anything dangerous to me. Sweetheart, a man stomping you in your stomach and taking the wind out of you and continuing to stomp you after you tell him that you can't breathe, if that's the truth, that's dangerous. But now you want to speak. You got your payday. I don't care what nobody says. Gina got paid. You got your payday. And you went and tra-la-la over there. And now you're changing your story. Yes, that's what she got on Tasha K and said that Diddy stomped her in her stomach so bad that it knocked the wind out of her. And she was telling him that she couldn't breathe and he kept going. We watched him drag Cassie and pull her down to the ground and football kick that girl like he was going for the goal after a touchdown. Donnell said, I'ma just get in where I fit in for the character plot. What you mean? So, yeah, while I get what you're saying, and thank you for hearing me out, Samuel. While I get what you're saying, what I'm talking about is that part. Exactly. Is it Tiny? I'm going to just call you Coco because I don't want to mess up your first one. Exactly. Something ain't right. And then, my thing is this. All those assistants who took the stand, they snitched on Diddy. They snitched on Diddy. And they kissed his tail after. George Kaplan got up there and told everything. And then turned around and said that Diddy was a god amongst men. Every last one of those assistants got up there and snitched on Diddy and kissed his tail in the process. But people want to big them up, but drag the females. But nobody got nothing to say about the men that took that stand and testified against Diddy. George Kaplan. Yes, Shawnee. See, you pay attention. The assistants will still have accidents and unalivings at an alarming rate, just like Epstein. We'll see. Exactly. They was trying to save face. After you sat up here and you told about how, let me tell you what George Kaplan got up there and told, baby. George Kaplan got up there and said that he used to go to Western Union because, yes, Western Union used to be a thing. And if you don't know what Western Union is, then you are young, and let me explain it to you. Western Union is a wire transfer where you could transfer money to people. You would go to the counter, you would give the cash, and you would ask them to wire transfer money to another person in another state or another country, okay? And so we used to do that a lot. Western Union used to be our Cashapp, okay? And so George Kaplan talked about going to Western Union and picking up wires from Bad Boy. Bad Boy Entertainment would send a wire to George Kaplan, and George Kaplan would go pick up said money from the wire that was sent to him, and then go to One Stop or one of the other dealers and go pick up Diddy's DR Uggs and bring them back to Diddy. He also testified that Diddy would get opioids in his name, book rooms in his name, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about the room part, so don't quote me on that, but he definitely talked about the DR Uggs. He got up there and he talked about seeing the aftermath of Diddy putting hands on Cassie. He talked about Diddy assaulting Gina with some apples. He don't know if they were real or if they were decorative, but he saw Diddy home run pitching apples at Gina. And he told KK that he could not work there any longer and put in his letter of resignation. But then after saying all of that stuff that he said about Diddy, he turns around and says that Diddy was a god amongst men. And that's okay. Facts, I remember you could send up to $5,000 at a time, no questions asked, and they brought it down to 1,000. Right. Sean says, I know you straddled the fence the whole case. I commend you for that. Do you think the people that didn't testify got the bag? I do. I believe they were paid off. I believe, first of all, let me say this. I believe Chef Jordan may have been scared, but like I said in my live yesterday, there were people that got up on that stand and did it scared. Okay? They got up there and they testified scared. So being scared is really not an option, especially in this day and age. This is not the 90s. This is not the early 2000s. This is not even the mid 2000s. Okay? You could have got up there and you could have took the stand, sweetheart. You could have asked the government for protection. You could have explained that you needed protection to the government and they would have provided it. But hey, it is what it is. I do believe that Gina was paid off. I absolutely do. And I didn't really so much straddle the fence as I stuck to the facts and I stuck to the case. And I left my emotions out of it. Do you believe that Diddy was a CIA operative and this is still all about blackmail? I don't know about that. I don't know about Diddy being a CIA operative. I don't know. I really don't know about that. The escorts that are coming out now to speak and filing lawsuits, but never said they were P-tooted. There's a lot of smoke towards the women not speaking out and staying. The men stayed too. That's true. And that's what I was saying yesterday. Why ain't nobody saying nothing about why they didn't go to the police? I told y'all what Mark Agnifilo said in his closing arguments. They didn't go to the police. They went to civil attorneys. So that's the same smoke I have. Nah, but I believe he worked with the feds, though. You do, Swagger? The judge will give him 10 years. He denied the bail. You think so, Adrian? My sister, you're in your feelings. You don't understand law. You need to read the Black's Law Book. My brother, I'm not in my feelings because I'm not emotionally attached to this case. And I haven't been from day one. I'm telling you, I gave you what the government was giving you. And I'm talking about the things that were going on in this case. And that has nothing to do with what you just said, Lamar. My brother. Hootie-hoo. Nah, the internet talks CIA stuff. Yeah, see, I don't know. And that's the problem that I was saying yesterday. I also read a part of testimony where the government didn't let us down. The media did. Because the media was telling us about these kids and all this other stuff that was going on and all of the conspiracy theories that have been happening out here in these streets. There's been a lot of that. But the government never promised us any of that. They promised us the case that they gave us. The problem is they let us down with the charges that they charged him with. That's where the problem is. Why Diddy's chief of staff wasn't subpoenaed if they were going for a RICO? Because she's an unindicted co-conspirator. All of them were honestly unindicted co-conspirators, and I don't know. I wonder if they're going to Ghislaine Maxwell her. I really don't know if they're going to go after her next or after D-Rock next. I don't know. What I will tell you is Fahim was up in that court, though. Diddy has video of famous people doing illegal things. The CIA would love to have that leverage over people. I believe that's what the raids were about. For 30 years untouched, yeah, he was working. I don't know. Which one? There's many editions of the Black's Law. This was never a RICO, though. SEX crimes, yes. I agree with you. I agree with you. But you know what? If they would have built the RICO based off of trafficking, transportation to engage, dealing in obscene matters, firearms, they would have had the RICO because all of that evidence was there. And that's what I've been saying. So, yeah. There was also a predicate offense, I can't remember it off the top of my head, that deals with violence and commission of continuing a RICO. They could have gone for that too. They were charging the domestic violence as force and coercion. It was mostly looked at as force in this case. So while people were talking about this wasn't a domestic violence case, you're correct. It wasn't a domestic violence case. It was a case about physical force being used on people. That's what they were trying to reiterate. But I don't think the government explained their case very well. And this was a case that you had to actually take time with in order to understand what was going on. Because on the surface, it looks very, very suspect. And it looks like, oh no, I don't see this, I don't see that, I don't see that. But when you go off of the tangible evidence, if they would have went for blackmail with Cassie's mom, they would have got that. See, this is why I'm saying I'm an everyday citizen. I don't hold any law degrees. I've never studied law like as a profession, but I do go look things up when I'm getting ready to talk about a case so that I understand what I'm talking about and I can get up here with confidence to speak on it and not be stuttering and stammering around or sounding like a buffoon. So I took the time with this case and I understood that if they went for blackmail, obscene matters, firearms, trafficking, transportation to engage, those 5 things right there, they would have had their RICO. And it would have been an SEX RICO. Very much so. Very much so. Yes. Yes. Everybody's saying they want me to go back up there in October to cover Diddy's sentencing.
No.
What do you mean? It's only a day.
No.
It's only a day.
Unless you take me with you, then no.
Girl.
You've been gone for 7 weeks. And you know how stressful that was for that one over there?
She told me.
She started bawling when she saw you. I'm pretty sure she gonna cry just for missing you.
No, Shannon, she's not agreeing with you. She's agreeing with you, you could say, but not for the reasons you're saying it. She's saying no because I was already gone for 7 weeks. My kids don't want me to do nothing but be home.
And take care of your loving kids. And,
See?
And you love on them and take them places and you know.
And he had to represent the South again, period. Shannon said that's long enough. Listen, it's a day. It's in October. It's not even nowhere near soon. It's in October, and it's for 1 day.
And here I come with you?
Girl, I'm flying in and flying out. What are you talking about? I'm flying in and flying out. What part of that aren't you getting? I'm not staying. I don't even plan on booking a hotel. If I do, for 1 night. That's it. They said boss spoke up. You were up there for 7 weeks. Damn, yes, I was there for 7 weeks. Can you just, oh, I have it.
A month, guys. A month.
Mama Henny is great. She's happy I'm home. Bless you. She's happy I'm home. So.
That you're home.
Don't say it like that, because y'all are not bad kids. She just missed me, that's all.
She treats us like we're bad kids.
No, she doesn't. Look, I'm on YouTube. I'm not on Instagram. These people don't know us. Some of them do, but a lot of them that watch the replay do not. So don't do that. Because they will be like, oh, her mom. And her daughter said.
It's not even that.
And then I have to get on here and I have to show my natural black about my kids and my mom. Anyway.
And your dog and your cat.
Oh my God. Anyway. All right, y'all. Let's see what y'all said. We're going to end the poll. And 62% of y'all said they should have kept the September 22nd date. And 35% of y'all said no. So that is y'all poll. But anyway, love is always love, y'all. I'm not going to be on here. I wasn't supposed to be on here when they came home from school.
No.
The agreement is that I'm not on live when they come home from school, and they just got home from school and allowed me to rock because Diddy's sentencing or his hearing was at 2. So, anyway. Yeah, Uniquely said, yeah, Emo, this ain't Purple Live.
I can't show my face on here.
Oh! Anyway, all right, you guys. Remember to vibe high so that the bullshit don't stick. Love is always love, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everybody. Thank you for all of the love and support. Welcome to all of the new subscribers, and continue to run it up, 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 because we are only going up from here, y'all. Love y'all to life. Peace, everybody.
Bye-bye.